What's up YouTube, it is your boy Liam here from The Original Barbers, bringing you a video on how to cut your own hair at home, because I think a lot of people are in need. It can be quite a hard job to do if you've never used clippers before, but it's fine, we're here to teach you. Right, let's get into it. So at the moment all I'm doing is I'm just putting in a couple of they're like Velcro straps. They're not needed. You can use clips, anything you've got in your house really. It's just to keep the top out of the way. Right, so what we've done is I've put on my biggest guard, grade 8. This is on the wall clippers. Might be different on the clippers you've got at home, but if you can, just put on your biggest guard and just go right up to that line, and all you're doing is just taking the bulk out. That's all we're doing at the moment. And then when you're doing it yourself, you're going to want a big mirror, big solid mirror, and then a smaller mirror that you can move around so you can get around and see what you're cutting. So again, just making sure that all that bulk is coming off. Just flicking out. You don't want to follow the contours of your head, because if you follow the contours of your head, you're going to go too high, and it's going to take off too much around the crown. You don't want that. So at this point, I'm just checking it, just making sure that there's nothing that I've left. I don't want to be leaving like little long bits just around that top. So I'm just double checking that. Right, so what we're doing now is I put on a shorter guard. I've put on a 6. The last one was an 8. I've put on a 6 now. I'm just going underneath that. Again, flicking out, making sure you're not digging in. There's 2 ways of doing this as well. You can work from the bottom and come up. We can do what I'm doing now. Start at the top, come down. I'm doing it from the top, come down, because it is easier. So anyone that hasn't really cut hair before, it's going to be a lot easier to go from the top to the bottom. So you're just working your way down those guards. If you've got any standard wall clipper, it's going to start usually at grade 8 at the highest, and then go down to a 0.5. So you can go down as short as you want. You're just going down the grades. Flicking out, just going underneath each grade every time. If you feel like you've missed a bit, just put the grade back on above that, and then just go back and take away any dark patches that you need to. I won't worry too much about what's underneath what you're cutting for now. It might look a bit weird as you start taking the darker patches out from the top, and then you'll have these patchy bits underneath. It will look a bit weird, but just keep going. It's the same again. What I've done here is this is a grade 4. Same again, just going underneath that 6, flicking out, taking any bulk, and it will just naturally fade down. If your clippers has a lever on the left hand side, when you're going in between your 4 and your 6, pull that lever back so it's a 4.5 and flick out with that in between the 4 and the 6, and that'll give you a more even taper. If it doesn't, I wouldn't worry about it. Just if you've got a grade 5, put that 5 on, go in between your 4 and your 6. As long as you're flicking out, you ain't going to create any lines. As you can see as well, I use the same hand to go right round my head. I can only use my right arm, so that's the only way I can do it. If you're ambidextrous, then fair play to you. Go ahead and use that other hand. It will make it easier if you are ambidextrous, because you can get to that left ear a hell of a lot easier than trying to bring your right arm right round. It does get a bit awkward, but as long as you can get around there, you can do the job. Right, so what we're doing here is I've got a 1.5 guard on, and I pulled the lever back, so it's essentially a 2, and I'm just tapering out the very, very bottom. So I start with both sides, just where my temples are. They're just a bit easier to see, so I just do them to start with, and then it kind of gives me a little bit of a rough guideline of what I'm cutting. Move around the back using your second bar. You can use a corner of your clipper to get round the top of your ear. Now there, you've just seen me move the lever from the left hand side. I push that forward, so now that is a true 1.5. I'm just going underneath the 1.5 lever open, which is a 2, and just tapering out the bottom. At this point as well, with your 1.5 guard on, you can use the corner. If you tilt your clippers ever so slightly, you can use the corner to get any bits that are above that might be dark patches. So it might not be a line, it might be a dark patch. You can sort of chip away at that with the corner of the 1.5 guard. So now I've just changed my guard to 1 guard. I'll put that to 1.5, pulling the lever back, just going underneath that true 1.5 guard. So there's ever so slight difference between the 1 guard with lever back and the 1.5 guard. It is a little bit longer. So I'm going to go underneath that again. And for this haircut, because it's just like a blend or a taper, I'm just going to a grade 1. So I'm not taking it right down to skin, this is just an easy blend. So again, started with the temples, gives me a rough guideline. Once that bit's done, move around the back using my mirror. Just tapering out the bottom of the neck. Around the back at the bottom of the neck, if you want to, what you can do is, if you really wanted to, you could go all the way down to a 0. Just follow the same steps, go from your 1 if you have a 0.5 guard, put your 0.5 guard on, lever back, move it down, lever forward, and then that'll take it to a 0.5. Take your guard off, just take it down to a 0, just to taper it right down at the bottom. So we're just double checking everything. There might be some bits there that you spot after you think you've finished. Just obviously go back, have a look. Just make sure there's no dark patches, make sure there's no lines. Just make sure there's no imperfections. Obviously you don't want it to be patchy. That's the last thing you want. Take your time with it. So this bit isn't necessary, but if you do have a pair of thinning scissors, what you can do, bits that you can't really get with the clippers, or bits that you're struggling to get with the clippers, you can thin that area out using your thinning scissors. It's a little bit more difficult. If you can get your head around it, then it's not too bad, to be honest. You've just got to get used to bringing your hand around your head with the scissors, because obviously it's going to be backwards. So as you can see, I'm just thinning out that bottom area. There's a few darker patches that I didn't like the look of, so just getting rid of them. So this is what it's going to look like from the sides and the back. Right, so I brush myself down. Make sure you sort of wash everything off, get all the loose hair away. And what we're going to use now is a matte clay by the Original Barber. This is our product. This is quite a nice clay for guys with thin hair. As you can see, I've got pretty thin hair, so I don't like using anything that's too tough. And this, it's a strong clay when it's in, but it's really pliable. It's really good for people with thin hair. Just putting the leftover bits just in my beard. It's all natural product as well, so you can use it in your beard just to keep any strays down if you really wanted to. It smells really good too.